Good evening, everyone. Welcome to KSR Fans Play Star Trek Online. I am your host, Randolph Vance. Now, before we get started tonight, we are going to explore for you the mystery of Bluejay 4. As you can see on your screen, this title card is actually one of the last known photographs of Captain John Christopher. He was an American Air Force captain who was killed, presumably, in the crash of Bluejay 4. Bluejay 4 was an American F-104 starfighter interceptor that was shot down 51 years ago yesterday when it encountered a UFO. Now, I'm going to put up another picture here in a moment of one of the last other images that Captain Christopher's plane caught shortly before it was torn apart, quite literally. I'm going to bring it up here just a moment. There it is. Okay. I'm going to bring this up here. Okay. This is the photo of the UFO that Captain Christopher was chasing on July 16th, 1969 at approximately 5:38 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This UFO just suddenly appeared in the sky over Omaha, Nebraska, and Captain John Christopher was assigned to intercept it. His plane, however, was torn apart by what was described as extreme magnetic force. Magnetic force that the plane had never seen before. It was like the plane had just been ripped apart, just ripped to shreds. Wreckage of it was strewn all over Nebraska, but no evidence of a pilot. Nothing at all to suggest that the pilot was killed, and presumably this UFO is believed to have abducted Captain John Christopher. So, 51 years ago, yesterday, Captain John Christopher gave his life in what has been the most covered up UFO incident. This happened on the very day that the Apollo 11 launched to go to the moon, and then suddenly this UFO appears in the sky over Omaha, Nebraska. Is that a coincidence, I ask you? I don't think so. So, we are going to leave you to ponder the mystery of Bluejay 4, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Now, for those of you out there who would like to participate, please join us on Twitter or on Discord. I will be in the Shuttlecraft Bay. I'm sure that Black Hydra Gaming will be joining us here in a moment. We'll ask him his express opinion about Bluejay 4. So, and the mystery behind that. So, before we get started, what we're going to do is best serve cold, of course. We're not that far away from getting the bonus on that. And I really, really am mad at Cryptic Gaming for not putting in an achievement for capturing all 20 of the freighters. You who are watching this know who you are. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Anyway, let's get this started.
A car of House Mokai has a fleet in orbit over Rua Pinte. Once we've dealt with that fleet, we need to reactivate the defense controls.
Acknowledged. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the Death Lotus here. I'm going to target everything I got on this Negvar warship, and then as soon as I got it right in range, I'm going to deploy the little satellite right over here at A9, and that's going to pull in all the other ships right into the Negvar warship, and then boom, everything going to blow up real good. About 20 seconds away from getting started. Get the gas ready. Kobayashi Maru out.
Warning, ship is under attack. Warning,
now.
Ship is under attack.
Death Lotus. Already we got one of the achievements out of the way. I don't even remember what it was.
Get within 5 kilometers of each station to reactivate them.
Alright, I'll take care of Alpha. That'll be probably one of the...
Watch out! The defense satellites are targeting us!
That's okay.
This is Akar, son of Akam. May you find death before dishonor!
The enemy is cunning. Consider every weapon. Control Station Alpha is under our control now.
Those Mokai infiltrators are uploading a virus. Stay within 5 kilometers of a state.
Control Station Gamma has been... Destroy the infiltrators to solve that problem permanently.
Target's shields have failed.
I gotta give props
Control
to J.G.
Station
Hertzler.
Beta
He's
is
earned
ours
his paycheck
again.
for this. Along with Robert O'Reilly. I mean, definitely you got 2 Klingon Titans. But I wonder what J.G. Hertzler's opinion is about Bluejay 4.
Target's shields have failed.
The government cover-up behind it. Nixon was in office then. You know Nixon would definitely have to keep that shit under wraps. But I want to hear what you think. I may just put that up as a poll. Well, I'll do that later. This moment I got other things to worry about. Okay.
Warning, ship is under attack. Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed. Warning, ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
I would also like to take a moment to welcome our new sponsor, TriologySoaps.com.
The enemy...
The Mokai will try to protect captured...
Oh. Okay. This is the part that I want Cryptic to pay the most attention to, because we put in the most work to capture all these transports, not let any of them get away. So we at least us players would like some recognition for achievement.
A transport is leaving the surface.
Oh, really?
The prisoners are trying to escape.
Trying? More like failing.
Mokai infiltrators en route to Gamma. Eliminate them at once.
Eliminator. Yeah. Oh, there's our quarry. Okay.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shields have failed.
There we go.
Here comes another one. These prisoners are bold. Stupid, but bold.
Now, deploy that fisherman's satellite again.
More infiltrators. They're headed to Gamma Station.
Oh, great. They're shooting off fireworks outside. That's all I need.
2 more transports just broke atmosphere.
Aha.
Don't let them escape.
Warning. Ship is under attack.
I'll stop
Target's
them.
shields have failed.
Hi, come here. Oh, you think you can get away too?
Infiltrators closing on Alpha and Beta stations. Destroy them.
Alright, that's 2.
Target's shields
Picking
have
up
failed.
3 more transports on sensors. Stop them.
1, 1, 2. Aha, 3. Now, wide fire. Fishing in.
Mokai infiltrators closing on all stations. Stop them.
Target's shields have failed.
Bring them all down.
5. I repeat, 5 transports just broke orbit.
You
know what to do.
I do know what to do. And we're gonna fish them all in.
Hello, everybody.
Good evening, Black Hydra Gaming. Black Hydra, did you know that yesterday was a very important anniversary in UFO mythology? Well, in UFO history. Oh, shit. I gotta...
All ships, 8 transports are making a break for it. Do not let
Oh, yeah?
them get
What
away.
happened?
Okay, 51 years ago yesterday, an American F-104 Starfighter Interceptor, codenamed Bluejay 4, was shot down by a UFO over Omaha, Nebraska at about 5:38 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
Target's shields have
And
failed.
I was able to put in screen captures in the title card and in the opening of Captain John Christopher and the photo of the UFO, the only photo that somehow survived and was declassified by Freedom of Information Act request.
Was it the original
Target's
Enterprise?
shields have failed.
I don't know. It looked weird. Oh, damn
I
it, we lost the
know you
transport.
know which episode I'm talking about.
I know which episode we're talking about. Yes, I do know that Bluejay 4 is actually a reference to the episode Tomorrow is Yesterday from the original series.
Great episode.
Yeah. That's why if I can keep this going at least a couple of hours, I can probably piggyback a little bit off of AP. Damn it, and we lost one of the transports too. We're not going to get Jailhouse Rock on this
Target's
run.
shields have failed.
That pissed me off. But that should be an achievement for Best Served Cold if you capture all 20 transports.
Agreed.
Yeah. And one escape now, too. Oh, that's an even better run.
So, what kind of mischief and trouble did you get into today?
Today is my
Target's
roommate
shield
Sam
has
Stutler's
failed.
birthday, so today was also payday. So I splurged and we got some KFC and we got some fine cannabis at one of the dispensaries here in Pueblo. And
Warning. Ship
we're
is under
enjoying
attack.
chicken and weed.
Sounds like a good combination.
Oh, it's a winner. Let me tell you
Warning.
what.
Ship is under attack.
Got an ounce of golden goat out the door, $146.
Nice.
That's
Warning.
the beauty
Ship
of
is
living in
under attack.
Pueblo. You see, Pueblo, weed prices are normal. Need that?
Ah.
Because California, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing in California. California, it's pretty much, they've only legalized pot and they don't know yet how to legalize dabs because of the extraction process. It would involve using things like butane and stuff like that, and ethyl alcohol. And California is so fucking environmentally conscious that they have no concept of how to work the volatile organic compounds laws. Colorado legalized THC. That's the difference. That
Yeah.
opens the door for everything. That opens the door for edibles. That opens the door for extracts. That opens the door for ointments and for shampoos. Yes, cannabis shampoos for neuropathy scalp. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Here, let's capture this last transport.
I played this one game, Airport CEO, like a long time ago. It was okay back in the day, but it did a lot of updates, so
Have,
it's a little bit better.
have you seen a channel on YouTube called Gray Still Plays?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I love Gray Still Plays because, especially when he does like Universe Simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need to get into other games. I do need to get into like things like Kerbal.
Kerbal Space Program, it's a good game, don't get me wrong, but it's annoying as hell.
Yeah, because you have to deal with the mathematics of everything.
Pretty much.
Yep.
I mean, I got Airport Simulator running live, so you can kind of see it.
Right, here come the dilithium transports now. So how was your week?
Another day in paradise, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Warning.
I got this
Ship
tiny
is under
little
attack.
landing strip right here, just a bunch of random airplanes coming in. Then up top, you kind of started seeing that I'm getting a larger airstrip going.
We must
Looks like we
withdraw.
stopped them.
And then, of course, I have to
I think
build
you'll
up
find
the
my
airport
viruses
after
more
that, put in the terminals and
every
everything
dilithium
else.
hauler.
Destroy them.
Did you just hear a firework outside?
Yep.
Yep, that's Pueblo. That is life in Pueblo.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, now they got the little firecrackers out.
Well, besides Kerbal Space Program, what other games do you think you'd try to get into?
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target's shield
Universe
has failed.
Simulator. I definitely want to kind of blow some solar systems up. Crash two Earths into each
Alpha
other.
and Gamma stations have dilithium haulers in proximity.
Yep. Fireworks outside agree with me on that.
Rear shields failing.
All stations have dilithium haulers in proximity.
Blowing it, crashing anything and blowing anything up. It's always a thing to do.
Target's shields have failed.
All stations have dilithium haulers in proximity.
Left shields failing.
Picking up multiple signals on long-range sensors. Looks like more dilithium haulers.
Alpha and Gamma stations have dilithium haulers in proximity.
Okay.
Dilithium haulers are dropping out of warp. Keep those stations secure.
Yeah, and this game is pretty good. All I have to do is just sit back, relax,
Alpha
and let
and
the money
Gamma
roll in.
stations have dilithium haulers in proximity.
Because I got a decent system, you know. It's not perfect, but it still makes good money.
One of the tricks I've learned in Fallout 4 is that it matters greatly what kind of armor and weapons you give to your settlers. Like, if you give them, you know, like laser sniper rifles with just one round, they can make that round last fucking forever.
Yeah, that's a glitch.
That's a
glitch
nice
in the
glitch.
system.
Yeah, it's a handy fucking glitch.
Yeah. You could also do that with your companions also.
Yeah.
Just give them one round and it's infinite.
I might actually do that. I
Engage
might
the cloak and
do a
begin
day where I
repairs.
just like take a tour of the Wildcat Lodge that I
Warning.
built.
Ship is under attack.
Show off the shops at Lexington Green.
Beta station has dilithium haulers within proximity.
Or shops at Lexington Center, I should say.
It sounds like a plan.
Beta station has dilithium haulers within proximity.
Yeah, because don't get me wrong, Star Trek Online is fun, but
Every now and then,
old after a while.
yeah, every now and then you have to kind of vary it up a little.
Beta station has dilithium haulers within proximity.
Plus, I've actually put some nice little touches to my version of the
More
Wildcat
ships.
Lodge.
Withdraw! Victory is ours! The rebels have fled like scalded targs.
And we won.
Oh yeah.
Like, I've got nice furniture, I've got pool tables set up, I've got exercise equipment. The exercise equipment actually comes in handy because the settlers will take to using the exercise equipment. And then I've got working like little traffic signal by one of the walls and Nuka-Cola machines and things like that. One of the levels, the very bottom level, which is raised above the ground from the Starlight Drive-In, is the recreation level. So everybody that, is in the settlement can hang out in the recreation level. The next floor above it are the shops. The next floor above that is the dormitory where everybody sleeps. And the floor above that is the arena. And then I've got seating all around the arena, along with 2 thrones for his and hers.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Defeat Captain's Ground. Complete board task force operations. Oh. Well, this will be fun. Okay, so what we can do. Board task force operations. I can do infected the conduit. Yeah. That'll be a quick one.
Hey, yeah. Yeah, the humidity out here is getting out of control.
It's not too terrible in Pueblo. Okay, yeah, definitely want to rock the Thompson submachine gun for the next phase. Defeat Captain's Ground. I know exactly what I'm going to do with that.
It's weird, the Borg have adaptive technology where they can adapt to any phaser weapon or proton beam or anything else, but they can't adapt to lead coming out of a gun.
Hmm. It would require such extreme shielding by the Borg that the shielding would eventually give out anyway. So they're trying to assimilate by just fucking preventing it from hitting them, but it's draining so much energy, deflecting all of that raw metal, that it just fucking drains their shields and then they just collapse anyway. So that's, I think, how logically you can kill a Borg with a submachine gun. With, standard ballistic weapons.
Well, here's my thought on the situation. They got, in the Star Trek universe, they have, what you call it, like force fields and everything else that can repel, physical attacks. Why can't they do a personal force field around them instead of shields?
Plus, if you think about it, they were holographic bullets. So it's literally photons of light that are tearing into the Borg.
Well, you have to remember during that scene, Picard turned off the safety feature.
Yeah.
So those photons of light were,
were potentially lethal. Yes.
Yeah. But it still comes around to if you have the force field technology where you stop a person from bashing or slashing or using any kind of weapon, against it, why can't a force field deflect bullets? Like in Independence Day, when, I'm sure you saw that movie.
I did in 1996, and it was okay at the time. And I especially like the jump scare that, when they're doing the alien autopsy. That was good. And okay, I liked the premise of Independence Day. Earth defeats the aliens with a computer virus, and then, God, 20 years later, I had to see Independence Day Resurgence.
I haven't seen them.
Oh my God! You know what? Okay. I went and saw it as a double feature at one of the drive-in movie theaters here not here, back home in Lexington, Kentucky. Actually, this was in Paris, Kentucky, but it was about like a 45-minute drive. but it was worth it to go see 2 movies for, $10.
Okay.
Secret Life of Pets, which is actually a charmingly funny movie. It's animated. It's one of those DreamWorks animations. It's where you have like Louis C.K. and a bunch of other actors and actresses. Jenny, what's her name?
McCormick or something like that?
Not McCormick. The untalented one who just gave up her voice acting job on like an Amazon show.
Oh, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
But yeah, it's a charmingly funny movie.
Yeah, there's a couple of them like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not the best, but it's still good in its own right.
And we saw Independence Day Resurgence as the movie after that, which, God help us, is a horrible, horrible movie. And I feel so sorry for Robert Loggia in that movie. Because it's like, when they bring him out for his one little cameo, because he got to be president after, Bill Pullman was president. And Robert Loggia's character only served like 1 term because apparently he had a disastrous term or something like that.
Hull integrity below 50%. Right shields failing.
Boogie, 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 boogie.
Hull integrity
Oh, shit.
In the original Independence Day, didn't he kill himself off by, bunzaiing into the alien spaceship?
You will escort us to your homeworld, where we will begin assimilating your culture and technology.
Okay, yeah, I survived. Gotta defeat the carrier.
Warning, ship is under attack.
Hi and bye, Mr. Assimilated Carrier.
Well, what's the Cliff Notes version of the Independence Day Resurgence?
How to explain it? Earth has basically reverse engineered all of the alien technology. Hey, I got the disruptor beam array. Good. Good. That's a nice little bonus. So they've reverse engineered computer technology. They've reverse engineered weapons technology. They've reverse engineered fighter technology to where they can, have their own versions of the alien craft. Does that make sense?
Yeah, they reverse engineered everything.
Yeah.
They got from the original thing.
Right. And as it turns out, one of the ships that crashed in Africa had surviving aliens. So they were kind of like, hiding and waiting and, plotting, and they sent a quiet little signal. And Earth encounters other aliens that are kind of in the fight with the Independence Day aliens. Does that make sense? So it's like they're
an enemy of our enemy.
Kind of. Well, they send us an invitation, basically, which, we have to decipher by understanding, the periodic table and hydrogen and all that stuff. And then it sends out a signal, basically, that communicates that, that they're, trying to help us, trying to defeat the other aliens.
Okay.
And basically it's just a blah movie. I mean, once the aliens show up, and then you see human dogfighters versus alien dogfighters going at it, it just looks CGI'd all the fucking back. And the plot is so weak and thin. And they bring back Brent Spinner's character, Dr. Oaken. Because apparently
I thought he died in the first one.
No, apparently he'd been in a coma for 20 years. I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already starting to seep in about how shit the movie is. This movie is so shit, it actually makes the original Independence Day look like a goddamn motherfucking masterpiece by comparison. We're going to do Into the Hive.
I mean, the original Independence Day
is
great,
cheesy.
But
it's not great. But it's loads better than Independence Day Resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did get a nice disruptor beam array out of this, so tuck that away. Discard that. Get rid of that.
Sometimes you just can't win Hollywood.
Oh, there's an interesting story. Thank you for reminding me. You know what? Oh. Former employees say Ellen's "Be Kind" talk show mantra masks a toxic work culture. Have you heard what's going on behind the scenes at the Ellen DeGeneres show?
No.
I normally hate BuzzFeed News because I consider it like, bottom feeder journalism, especially how, blatantly, ultra liberal they are. But stopped clock syndrome, BuzzFeed, came up with this rare nugget, which I will share. This is from BuzzFeed News. Former employees say Ellen's Be Kind talk show mantra masks a toxic work culture. If Ellen wants to have her own show and have her name on the show title, she needs to be more involved to see what's going on, one former employee said. From Christy Lee Yandoli, BuzzFeed News reporter, Ellen DeGeneres has built her worldwide multi-million-dollar brand on the motto, "Be Kind," with lavish giveaways and acts of charity. But behind the scenes, current and former employees on her leading daytime talk show say they've faced racism, fear, and intimidation. That "be kind" bullshit only happens when the cameras are on. It's all for show, one former employee told BuzzFeed News. I know they give money to people and help them out, but it's for show. BuzzFeed News spoke to one current and 10 former employees on the Ellen DeGeneres show, all of whom asked to remain anonymous, fearing retribution from the award-winning NBC daytime talk show and others in the entertainment industry. They said they were fired after taking medical leave or bereavement days to attend family funerals. One employee, who claims she was fed up with comments about her race, essentially walked off the job. Others said they were also instructed by their direct managers to not speak to DeGeneres if they saw her around the office. Most of the former employees blamed executive producers and other senior managers for the day-to-day toxicity, but one former employee said that ultimately it's Ellen's name on the show and, quote, she really needs to take more responsibility for the workplace environment. If she wants to have her own show and have her name on the show title, she needs to be more involved to see what's going on, one former employee said. I think the executive producers surround her and tell her, things are going great, everybody's happy, and she just believes that, but it's her responsibility to go beyond that. In a joint statement to BuzzFeed News, executive producers Ed Glavin, Mary Connolly, and Andy Lassner said they take the stories of the employees very seriously. Quote, over the course of nearly 2 decades, 3,000 episodes, and employing over 1,000 staff members, we have strived to create an open, safe, and inclusive work environment, they said. We are truly heartbroken and sorry to learn that even one person in our production family has had a negative experience. It's not who we are and not who we strive to be, and not the mission Ellen has set for us. For the record, the day-to-day responsibility of The Ellen Show is completely on us. We take all of this very seriously, and we realize, as many in the world are learning, that we need to do better, are committed to do better, and we will do better. A black woman who used to work on The Ellen DeGeneres Show told BuzzFeed News she experienced racist comments, actions, and microaggressions during her 1.5 years as an employee. She said when she was hired, a senior-level producer told her and another black employee, quote, oh wow, you both have box braids. I hope we don't get you confused, end quote. And at a work party, she said one of the main writers told her, quote, I'm sorry, I only know the names of the white people who work here, end quote. And other co-workers, quote, awkwardly laughed it off, end quote, instead of coming to her defense. When the former employee brought up issues of race and representation on the show and asked producers not to use offensive terms like spirit animal in the segments, her colleagues called her the PC police. Now, I'll get back to that little segment here in a moment. When she started to speak up about the discrimination, she said all of her colleagues distanced themselves from her. Whenever I brought up an issue to my white male boss, he would bring up some random story about some random black friend that he had and how they managed to get over stuff, she said. He would use his black friend as some way to say, quote, I understand your struggle, but it was all performative bullshit. After 1 year at Ellen, she said she asked for a raise after learning another recent hire made double for doing the same job, despite her having worked in the television industry for a decade. Her manager told her, quote, they'd see what they could do, but months went by and nothing happened, she said. The former employee said she was also called into a meeting with executive producer Ed Glavin, where she was reprimanded for her objection to the term spirit animal, asking for a raise and suggesting employees on the show receive diversity and inclusion training. He said that I was walking around looking resentful and angry, she said. After the meeting, she left work for the day and never returned to the Ellen DeGeneres Show. She said she has no plans to ever work in the entertainment industry again. For years, she felt, quote, a fear of speaking out, but is now inspired to share her experience because of recent conversations about race in Hollywood and other workplaces. I feel like I'm not alone in this, she said. We all feel this. We've been feeling this way, but I've been too afraid to say anything because everyone knows what happens when you say something as a black person. You're blacklisted. The former employee also said her manager from Ellen recently reached out to her amid the Black Lives Matter protests to apologize for not being a better ally. But the former employee said it's too little too late. I feel angry about the way I was treated, and I am always going to stand up for Black, Indigenous, Latino, and Asian people, regardless if they're around, she said. I can't not say anything. I'm not going to stop talking. There have been rumors for years about DeGeneres being difficult and how many employees feel unhappy. In March, comedian Kevin T. Porter started a Twitter thread asking people to share, quote, the most insane stories you've heard about Ellen being mean. The tweet has more than 2,600 replies. In April, Variety reported that employees were distressed and outraged by top-level producers who didn't communicate details about their jobs and pay at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic. DeGeneres' former bodyguard also recently said he'd had a negative experience with her at the 2014 Oscars, calling the TV host's treatment of others, quote, demeaning. A spokesperson for Warner Brothers Television, which distributes the show, told Variety that the crew was consistently paid during the pandemic, although at reduced hours, and acknowledged that communication could have been better, but cited complications due to the chaos caused by COVID-19, end quote. A current employee told BuzzFeed News that on May 1st, the same day the story about the former bodyguard was published, executive producers took the rare move of holding an all-staff meeting over Zoom to address the negative stories and low morale.
You have penetrated to the heart of Unimatrix O, disconnected Borg.
Okay, I think it is a lot of smoke and mirrors when it comes to the show's brand, a former employee said. They pull on people's heartstrings. They do know that's going to get likes and what people are going to go for, which is a positive message. But that's not always reality. Okay, so I'm going to finish this.
Well, hold on. Hey, Zod, welcome.
What's up?
Hey, good evening. Welcome to KSR Fans Play Star Trek Online. And
okay,
yeah, go ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
KSR.
Kentucky Sports Radio.
Okay, I thought so. When I looked, because I was trying to find it on YouTube, I put in KSR first, and that's what it first took me to was KSR Digital.
Which I'm not even affiliated with Matt Jones. I'm just doing this on my own. I'm just doing Star Trek Online in the most insane, ridiculous way possible.
Sweep this room quickly and you'll catch the Borg off guard. Seize the advantage.
Wait, there's a non-sane, non-ridiculous?
Oh, right now I'm dressed as 1971 Willy Wonka, and I'm killing ground Borg with a damage ×4 submachine gun from Star Trek First Contact.
Oh my god. I do shit like that. I have different off-center builds that I like to do.
How's life treating you, Zod? Haven't seen you in forever and a day.
Yeah, it's not been too bad. I gotta wait till beginning of next week. I'm gonna order me a SSD.
Borg are reacting. They're awakening reinforcements.
How many terabytes?
Probably just, I don't need, well, it's going to be, for what I'm doing, I need a minimum, for what I'm doing, I need a minimum of about 500 gigs. So I'm looking at going to 1 at least.
If you can, go to 2, and it's worth it.
It just depends. Yeah, it just depends on the project. Because what I'm getting into, I've done some of the basics, but my system doesn't handle Unreal editing very well. It takes forever to render shit in. So with a dedicated SSR, it's going to contain all my ARC files and everything. I'm going to start modding because there's this one mod I like. It's called Star Wars, and it's based on Star Wars. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. There's one that does castle, keeps, and forts. Yes, actually can build something that looks like a castle. Yep. I have another one that's steampunk, totally up. So I noticed there are a few fandoms that are nobody has mods for. Star Trek. No Star Trek mods for ARC. And I'm like, what? No one's done. And if you don't do anything else, why has no one done uniform skins? I would definitely go out as a red shirt and die. Come on.
Oh, I've seen other licensed Warner Brothers properties replicated with freakish precision in the costuming here. So
Do you know what?
There's
a
lot. There's a lot that can be done in this.
Do you know what the game Ark Survival Evolved is? It's basically Earth screwed up, blew up, whatever. I mean, it's still there, but they made these arcs, separated biome things to test survivors, so they could find the best of the best to help carry on humanity.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no Star Trek mods for it. There's no Battlestar Galactica mods. There are no Dune mods, and there are no Doctor Who mods. So one of the first things I'm going to mod is going to be a 2-piece Doctor Who mod. It's going to have a sonic screwdriver, which is going to be very cheap and easy to make, but you're going to need the screwdriver to build your TARDIS, which is going to be an infinite holding container.
Nice.
And I plan on making a sub-map so that you can actually enter the TARDIS into your own little mini-map. It'll be rather big, but... yeah! Nice. Oh, and you'll be able to use your sonics when you're far enough away. You'll be able to use your sonic screwdriver to call the TARDIS to you.
To that effect, you could invent something like Klein bottles. Bottles that have, like, infinite liquid capacity.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, some of these people have, like, these fucking super big... Well, there's this one thing, it's a dedicated storage unit, and it holds millions upon millions, but only, like, of a single item. And about the largest container I've seen anybody make is about 600 slots. Well, no, I want the maximum slot size to say ... Which means because think about it, you could put as much as you want in a TARDIS.
Yeah.
And somebody's saying, well, you should make it a vehicle. No, even though they did it, I believe it was the 10th Doctor even said it was never designed to be used like that. The TARDIS was not designed to be used to fly around the planet. So I don't want to make it that, and once you place it, you won't be able to pick it up. So you'll actually have to move far, far, far away, and you can use your sonic screwdriver to call it to you.
Now, question, can you make tripods that actually do walk, but have a limited, interior, of course, but tripods from, the other John Christopher, the author of the Tripods trilogy series?
I don't know that one, but yes. So there are ways where they either build it piece by piece, which is like what you call the foundation system, and then there's the sub-map system. There's a mod that I use for Stargate Worlds. It actually has, you go out and do this stuff and you collect this lost rune. Well, when you consume the lost rune, you get a set of coordinates. You put those coordinates into your Stargate, dial it up, takes you to the Lost Temple. You go in, you read a clue, and you go in and you take a test. You get sealed in a room. If you don't pass the test, you die, because you'll suffocate.
Yep.
But if you pass the test, you're taken back to the main area, and you get a puddle jumper.
Mm-hmm.
So that's done by the sub-map system. It takes you to... You don't technically leave your world, but you're on basically a sub-world that doesn't... It just coexists, so to speak.
Kind of like a subspace world that you can only...
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can only access it through the gate, and only the guy... So these guys are no longer developing the mod or whatever, because once you use a rune, for example, that set of coordinates stays for that world, for that map. So it's like, Where to me, the coordinates should change randomly. If I use a lost rune and I go get my puddle jumper, then when you get a lost rune, you should not go to the same coordinates I just did.
Right, you go to the coordinates on the rune, not necessarily the same.
Well, in this case, whatever address is generated by the first rune uses that address for everybody else's runes. But that being said, there's also a time window that the gate will be able to dial it. So then someone else has to consume another rune to make that address active.
Oh, I see what you're going. That yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
and it's
like,
just like there's
so
a
kinda
Stargate Atlantis mod, and they never finished it. And one of the things they were doing is they were going to be adding the drones to the puddle jumper.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? I know, but Atlantis was taken over or whatever, and they were adding puddle jumpers and the drone, but they never finished it.
Probably due to copyright issues, I'm thinking.
No,
No,
actually, believe it or not, yes, because even Star Wars, is Disney controlled.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have an issue with it being used in art.
Really?
Mainly because it's all not for profit. You're not.
The Borg are in chaos.
As far as I know, which you have to go through Steam to do it, this is one of the reasons why, is your mods are supposed to be free. You can't charge for your mods.
You can't charge for the mods. However, I could do like super chats, and Disney has no problem with me getting super chats or like PayPal donations or Patreon for my transformative videos. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, I don't know, because Disney's a bunch of little bitches now. But.
Oh, Disney's a bunch of they're lawyers now. Are you kidding? They're going to protect that corporate image. They are all about protecting the.
Oh, that was like what was that Star Trek? Star Trek fan made series that they were making with some of the actual actors playing in it, and they got all bent out of fucking shape because they were doing a higher quality job than CBS was doing.
Was it like a Nickelodeon thing? I think.
No. This was a separate. It actually was a fan that started.
Mm-hmm.
Started it all, and he started his own little
New Voyages.
Production. Yes, New Voyages.
Yeah, with Vic Mingio.
Yeah. Yes.
With Vic.
Yes, and it had some of the big name. I thought some big name actors that were actually reprising their Star Trek roles and stuff. And yeah, they got
Michael Forrest. They got the guy who played Apollo. Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of them.
I think
they had one of the.
They had one with like
that black actor, and I can't think of his name. Was doing it. I mean, yeah, but they had some actual name actors in it as in supporting roles, so to speak. But still, it was totally awesome, and they got shut down because
Paramount was like, fuck you, you're doing this better than we ever could.
And they were like, oh, you're infringing on our. Oh, you're just pissed because this little no-name guy is making higher quality, you might say, or more of what the fans wanted to see.
And there's a few out there. Have you heard of the Kittimer?
Yep.
The Kittimer movie.
Yeah.
And one of the assholes behind it who scammed a bunch of people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't remember his name. I'll have to do some research on it, but he's persona non grata that you talk about at the Trek conventions because of how bad he fucked shit up.
I can't stand people like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I got the two captains out of the way.
Is because there's people running a server, private server, and they were making money off of it, and they were making too much money off of it. They were drawing.
Yeah, and he was trying to make this a legitimate business, ripping Paramount off. So
well, that's not very smart anyway, right there.
No, he was the one who kind of caused Paramount to bring the hammer down on Vic.
Oh, on the other guys, yeah.
Yep. That's kind of how it all came down. So,
but see, what is it? Wildcard Studios, which does ARC. They're actually very, I would say, public centric.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to have your own servers and do with them as you please and blah, blah, blah. And so it's really interesting. I mean, there are people that make their own maps and stuff like that, and it doesn't matter. You can make a mod from from what I've seen in some of the mods, and now maybe there's no Star Trek. I don't think BBC would have too much of a problem with Doctor Who.
Are you kidding? They would fucking shit a gold brick.
I don't know.
They will get Susan to take that shit down in a heartbeat if it fucking resembles their brand. Yes.
Not Doctor Who. I've dealt with the BBC.
Not necessarily Doctor Who. Russell B. Davies. That's who would be.
Well, luckily, Davies is out of the fucking picture.
Good.
Yep, and unfortunately, so Chris is stepping down. So I'm just trying to figure out who's going to be their head writer for the.
Half of the episodes are about science. The other half are about history. That's the beauty of Doctor Who episodes. You just make one episode a science episode, one episode a history episode. Boom, you got the formula. Oh, Doctor Who takes a tour of 1980 3 Mile Island and inadvertently, is part of the meltdown. That makes sense.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Or he actually has to prevent the meltdown from being much, much worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he can't really prevent it because.
Yeah. In the original timeline, millions of people were killed in Pennsylvania.
Well, it's fixed point in time. That's it. Fixed point in time.
Yeah.
So.
Like the Daleks are trying to use the Daleks. They're causing 3 Mile Island.
Yeah, that would be an interesting twist. That the reason 3 Mile Island happened was because of the Daleks.
Yes. I bet
that's the same thing. I'll have to create because the guy that did the Star Wars mods, he's got these little BB-8, R2-D2, and mouse droids running all over the map.
Okay, and here's the plot twist. Doctor Who knows that in the correct timeline that the accident is not as severe as everybody thinks, but he also knows about the stuck water indicator, and they ask him, "Well, how do you know that?" It was in a movie that I just saw called The China Syndrome, which actually was 9 days old at the time that accident happened. It had been released 9 days prior to the 3 Mile Island incident. It was an unknown movie. Nobody was going to see it. And then once people realized what it was about, after 3 Mile Island, suddenly everybody was going to see it. It would have been one of the box office bombs of 1979 were it not for the actual 3 Mile Island incident.
Wow.
Yes.
But I was just thinking what I'd have to do is I'll have to make Daleks and Cybermen appear as monsters on my. Yes. Good new ideas for my mod. But I'm going to start, like I said, I'm going to start with it simple. The sonic screwdriver is going to take like 3 whole items to make. Now, one of the items, you'll either have to be level 20. Yeah, you'll have to be level 20 to make one of the items, but that's not hard to get. But then you'll have your sonic screwdriver. Oh, the sonic screwdriver will be able to repair higher tier stuff, such as the tech armor and stuff like that. You'll be able to repair with the sonic screwdriver. But the whole thing first is just to make it and skin, make it look right. I just don't know which doctor's Sonic I'm going to use as the base model, and then I do plan on making skins for it where you can change it to whichever doctor you want. But the first part is just to get a basic sonic screwdriver and then make the TARDIS. So, but then I want to do Battlestar Galactica where you have Cylons running over the map.
Okay.
Did you play Atlas Survival yet?
No. I don't really know that one.
That's by the same people who did Ark.
Ah.
It's just instead of dinosaurs, you're running around.
Oh yeah. I've seen the ad. I've seen that in the Steam store. And I thought that looked a hell of a lot like freaking Ark. I'm like, Oh no, somebody's cloning Ark.
How about,
No,
can you do different
was the same
skins for
people.
the sonic screwdriver?
Can you what?
Can you do different skins?
Yes. I'll be able to do that. That's what I said that I'm going to make a generic default type skin. When you make your sonic screwdriver, that's what it will just be, a generic one. But you will be able to actually very cheaply, like, I don't know, one polymer, and you can change the skin, and you'll be able to have different skins. So you, like me, I could have the Fourth Doctor's. Tom Baker was not my first. My actual first Doctor was, I believe, the first Doctor. But I really remember the third Doctor, John Stewart. But my favorite still was Tom Baker.
How about just the generic second Doctor's sonic screwdriver?
Yeah, I mean, I'll look at the different sonic screwdrivers and basically it's going to be whichever one is easiest to render.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the one I start with.
Oh, in this case, you'll start with the second Doctor's sonic screwdriver. It's the simplest. It's just like a long steel cylinder tube with a little LED light that you can variety at the end.
So that'll just be the start, just to get a basic sonic screwdriver, and then to basically have it where you can use that to build the TARDIS, and boom, you'll have an infinite storage container, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will work on the summoning command for it, and then I will work on the mini map where you can actually walk up to it and go, enter the TARDIS, and it'll take you to a sub map where it's just fucking gonna be huge inside. And of course you'll go to the center of the map where the control panel will be, and then you'll be able to go, I'm going to make it, let's see, we know that there's a bowling alley and a swimming pool and a library.
Put in Jed Clampett's mansion from the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yes. Cement pond and all. Uncle Jed, this here British fella says I can be a doctor. Well, boy, I don't know if your granny would want you being a doctor. Well, Uncle Jed, this fella says that I want to take a trip all through the universe. Jethro, maybe you ought to not see your friend. Who is he? Yeah, that's his name, Doctor Who. Oh my goodness.
The only thing I really want to do from Dune, and they have armors that are close to it, but not exactly what I want. So I want to make a still suit armor.
Yeah.
Where when you put it on, you don't lose
water
hydration at all.
Exactly.
Right.
You maintain perfect hydration, and as long as you stay, nutritionally fit, you survive indefinitely.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Target's shields have failed.
And then eventually, I would like to. One of my goals eventually, because like the new map they just released, Crystal Isles, that actually started, and they have them every year, every other year. They have different mod, and so like this last year they ended up a mod map contest. Crystal Isles won. Now it's an official release for free, and it was just made by a couple of guys that play the game, and they decided to make their own map, put their own creatures. So they have the generic, of course, ones, regular creatures, regular dinosaurs. Then they made their own crystal wyverns and put them on the map, and yeah. So I want to do the same thing. I want to make Arrakis.
Nice.
Where yes, you better be where you'll have thumpers and the hooks.
Yep.
So you can ride a sandworm, but you better be careful when you're walking. Swallowed by a sand.
Water of life. You definitely need the water of life if you're going to summon the big uns.
Well, I don't know how I want to do the Kwisatz Haderach, but
Well, Kwisatz Haderach would have natural control of all sandworms and can summon sandworms.
Yes.
Okay.
Now here's the funny thing in the game with all the dinosaurs. I mean, no one seems to do much with like NPCs. There's no real human mobs in the game other than the players. If I did Dune, I would also want to have like Bene Gesserit.
Yes.
Mentat.
Harkonnens. And
yeah,
and the Seekers, those little hunter Seekers.
Oh yes.
Yes. That you gotta be absolutely fucking still. And then you gotta wait for somebody else to take the bait, and then you have like a half second to just grab that fucking thing. And
hit your attack button and grab it.
Yep.
Yeah. But
well, that's where Atlas would come in. They got human NPC enemies.
And see, that's one thing I do on my right now. I'm having to pay a host for it, which is why I can't wait to get my actual own server tower set up going.
Hey,
but
heart plugs.
But you
heart plugs.
Pull the heart plug out of an enemy. Ah! Oh, and the floating suits too.
Oh, that would be fucking hilarious to just float around
let's
as
not
a Baron.
Let's not forget the poison Gom Jabbar.
Exactly.
There's so much fun that can be done with some of these shows that I've searched for, and no one's doing mods on them, and I'm like,
that's because everybody's so scared of fucking copyright lawyers these days.
And see, that's the funny thing I've noticed about, at least as far as the Ark mods go. Now, I don't know about for other games, but I know for Ark, I've seen. Are you kidding? There was a guy. Unfortunately, he lost and had to abandon it, but he's getting ready to redo it. He had a Stark Industries mod where you could actually have a miniature Arc coil in your chest and things like that. He was doing the whole armor setup. Oh, he had it looking real good, but he lost his files and stuff. Now he's redoing some of it and everything. I'm like,
I've seen similar themed mods on Grand Theft Auto 5 where you could play as the Hulk.
Yeah.
And that's fucking awesome.
See, Marvel is actually one of those cool companies, though. They have less of an issue with fan-driven items than some of these other people want to be. And I'm just like, I don't understand that. Why? Because to me, I'm just saying, for example, if I owned the Star Trek rights, the reason I would want other people doing things with them, because while you're doing your thing, over here, and you're sort of making these unique Star Trek stories or whatever, you're drawing in a new fan base. Now, this new fan base sees what you're doing. Now, they're going to want to compare that. Now, they might be interested to see the original works. I've just increased my profits by letting you do your thing.
Hey, I have had this idea, and this is where you get Kumar instead of just Harold now. You've had Harold in the movies. Now you can have Kumar, the guy who played Kumar in the Harold and Kumar movies, as young Khan. How he took over the world in 1996. And how the Clintons basically disguised it as the war in Yugoslavia. And then as part of like a negotiated peace treaty to keep Khan from detonating a super weapon, he's given the Botany Bay and a ticket out of the solar system, basically. But you get Kumar to play young Khan.
Interesting.
Yeah. The eugenics years, basically.
Yeah.
How young Khan rose to power and almost took over the world.
Which is actually, I know some people didn't like it. I liked Into Darkness.
See, that's where you had a white guy playing an Indian. That's where you should have had young Kumar in that.
But still, to me, the story they did to help sort of augment, do whatever to the Khan story.
Mm-hmm.
That was freaking totally interesting.
Yeah. How the augments kind of disguise themselves as like doped up Russian athletes at like the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta.
Resistance is futile.
How one of the augments, is behind the Atlanta terrorist attack.
Right.
At the Olympic Park, maybe.
Rear shields failing.
And that they pinned the whole thing at first on Richard Jewell because they couldn't acknowledge the fact that they were in a war with the augments.
Your efforts are futile. Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
Here's another thought. Now that we're talking about other Star Treks, Lower Decks, I
am kind of interested in seeing that.
I do too, and I want to see someone appear as kind of a regular special guest character. John Delancey.
Oh yeah.
But this time, he's more like Frank Reynolds' character from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Haven't seen that.
You've never seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
No.
Black Hydra, have you seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yep.
Okay, so Black Hydra understands where I'm going with this. Zod will, give him a week, or actually we'll give him,
I wouldn't hold your breath on.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean, heck, are you kidding? I just can't remember the movies I just like. One of the movies I just saw recently, Frozen.
You finally got to watch Frozen.
I finally decided to, hey, let's check this out. And of course, I totally loved the movie because Sven the Snowman, was Finn the Snowman?
Yeah.
Anyway, the Snowman. Yeah. I mean, come on. He was totally cool.
How many beers did you have for that one?
I didn't. None. I actually don't drink very much anymore. That's why one of the things that irritates me.
Your efforts are futile.
Okay. First off, that's not true because I used to blow. Now, don't get me wrong, because I always set certain monies aside. But I mean, there was a time I would go out Friday and Saturday night and just, and then I had come home. I would come home. I'd have, hell, I'd go through a freaking liter like it was freaking nothing. And now I can go out and buy a liter, and that sucker will last 6 months, a year. I mean, I can have alcohol all around me, and I still don't freaking drink it. So it's not true. Of course, one of the things that helped me is I had this one girlfriend who went out to a bar one time, and she just limited me to 1 drink an hour, which was cool. I mean, I was wanting to change anyway. And then, of course, as the night progressed, and you see and I'm remaining pretty much sober, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you mean to tell me that used to be me? And she was nodding her head and smiling at me. I was like, oh my God.
You used to be the sloppy drunk, didn't you?
Where the more you drink, the more cool you think, and
yep.
more cool you think you are and all. I used to be that guy. Like, oh my gosh. So, but now I don't have that need anymore to constantly drink. About the most regular, you might say, St. Patrick's Day, I'll have a couple shots of Irish whiskey. About it. I mean, other than that, it's extremely rare for me to drink.
I myself don't drink at all because the alcoholism gene runs very, very strong in my family.
It does in my family.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why
like I said, I don't know how. I can't say how I did it, other than I basically was able to stop it myself. I guess. I don't know.
However, 2 shots of Grey Goose vodka and 1 ice cold can of ginger ale, or back in Kentucky, it would be a soda, ginger ale like soda called Ale 81. 2 shots of that and 1 ice cold can of Ale 81, and I will drink the ever-loving hell out of that. That's how good it is. That's how I know I got to be very fucking careful with the alcoholism gene. So
Yeah.
and it's bad enough. It's really bad enough. Where did I put the Wilford Brimley? I didn't bring the Wilford Brimley in here. God damn it. Okay, the Wilford Brimley is my name for a 2-liter of soda, basically. So, diabetes. Hello, I'm Wilford Brimley, and I'd like to talk to you about diabetes. See, back in the 80s, myself and my friend Kurt Russell, we were making a movie called The Thing, and Kurt Russell looks to me and says, "Wilford, you don't look well. Maybe you should see a doctor." And I'm glad that he told me that, because that was then I found out I was an extraterrestrial parasite alien that could imitate other life forms and eventually take over the world in 2 or 3 years' time. Most of you think I'm crazy. Well, that's fine. But at least some of you know. That thing wanted to be us. This has been a message from Liberty Medical Mutual.
Oh, are we gonna do the Liberty song?
Oh no, we can't. But I tell you what. I think it's time for a little PR news in Washington. Just a second.
What's Overlord Trump trying to do now?
From PR News in Washington, I'm spying for the Kremlin. Today, prosecutors had warned that I'm acting as an agent of the Russian government in the Carolinas as well as Virginia.
Authorities began the mandatory evacuations with PR News in Chapel Hill.
The Trump is shutting down in Washington.
The State Department says Black Trump will do what it can to prevent that. Trump says PR News
dead to us.
The State Department says that in Washington.
Police say President Trump parked on the wrong floor of the apartment complex's parking garage. Trump told officers who responded to the shooting that about 1 million people died of a fight over a biotech patent. Officials said today,
PR News is the foundation of a multi-dollar industry. PR News is derived from higher organisms, including human bacteria. Scientists at the Broad Institute at MIT and Harvard were awarded major patents for using this technology in PR News.
The Trump has PR News that in the span of only an hour today intensified from a Category 2 to a Category 4 without Kim Jong-un's permission. From PR News in Washington, I'm sexually abused by Catholic priests over decades,
leading to catastrophic PR News, according to Twitter.
He added, "We look forward to identifying together the most effective sexual abuse."
President Trump is rejecting an official government tally. Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rosselló posted on Facebook that the U.S. citizens of Puerto Rico, quote, deserved their pain. The Vatican has announced Pope Francis has ordered an investigation of PR. And Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan says there's no reason to dispute. PR reports Weinstein's lawyer says this is PR News. From PR News in Washington, I'm capable of conducting search and rescue missions, also transporting boats in Wilmington, North Carolina.
This city, the city, still here.
President Trump.
I think everybody's happy.
President Trump's sexual assault against Judge Kavanaugh.
100% happy.
The Trump is accused of being a serial killer. Investigators say Trump has confessed to killing 4 women to set up a militarized Turkey near the U.S.-Mexico border.
Turkey often collide.
The Dow is 93, 92, 2662, 114, 2662. In other news, you're listening to PR News.
Okay, I think that's enough PR news so we can risk before Susan gets pissed off at us. Zod, what do you think of PR news in Washington?
I don't know. I couldn't hardly hear it. Don't really care. Don't really pay attention much to the news.
Okay, it'll show up much better on the replay for this. So I'm kind of getting ready to end the stream anyway because Adonis
he doesn't
Paul,
like us.
Well, no, I didn't say I didn't like you.
He doesn't want to be with us.
I didn't say I didn't want to be with you. I'm just saying I got to wrap up this episode. You know, I mean, it's. You know, I mean, I only have so much time during the day to do this, and I also have to
call me Daddy.
I also have to play What's in the Box. Oh yeah, I will call you Daddy. So, all right. So we're gonna play What's in the Box, and What's in the Box is how I end each episode. Oh, good. I treated my minor injury with a bruised ribs, and we kind of take a guesstimate of what's in these boxes. So I've got 312 million credits, 417,000, 4,360,000 raw dilithium. I'm guessing 450,000 credits in the boxes, maybe 2,000 dilithium. And we're going to find out.
I'm guessing these.
500,000, 550, 700, 800,000 credits and 1,000 dilithium ore. And 2 1/4 specialty marks and another reroll token. So we end the day with 313,217,000. We'll refine that dilithium, sitting on a nice chunk of 256K. I have to throw up the blue alert. So I want to thank Black Hydra Gaming. I want to thank his friend Zod for joining us in the Discord. And what I need to do is I do need to end this episode because it is the hour-and-a-half mark on that. But I'm getting ready to tune in to Adonis Paul's channel, and I will, well, I can throw a link in the description, hopefully. Wait a minute. Just a moment.
And don't forget your Triology soaps.
And yes, do not forget, triologysoaps.com. Triology Soaps, the finest soaps ever. Okay, now I'm going to copy this link, and this should work. I'm going to send this out in the chat on YouTube. There you go. That is where I will be for now. Thank you all for watching KSR Fans Play Star Trek Online. I have been your host, Randolph Vance. We are joined tonight by Black Hydra Gaming and also his friend Zod. Zod, tune in tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to do Battle with 10 p.m. Eastern. Which classic TOS or TNG or DS9 or any universe character guest star, can't be a regular, has to be a guest star, has to do battle with 10 p.m. Eastern? Which one do you want to see, Zod?
I don't know.
How about Tuvix?
Tuvix! There we go. Tuvix versus 10 p.m. Eastern. That'll be tomorrow's theme. Tune in tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern for Tuvix versus 10 p.m. Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Until then, we will see you all later. Thank you all for watching KSR Fans Play Star Trek Online. I have been your host, Randolph Vance. Now, please join me in Adonis Paul's channel right now and send Super Chat donations to him, please. Thank you.